So today we're going to go over a terminal hip extension variation from the low oblique sit, diagonal sit side bridge, whatever we're going to call it, position. So we're going to be going for terminal hip extension on this, which would be the last little bit of the hip push. So we're in our oblique sit. We're going to do like our little reach across and raise up, back and forth. As we come out of the initial position and we're coming across through here, we rise up. As we come into it, we're going to really stride through and kind of take a little bit of a tour of our downside hip and gluteal musculature. So as we're stabilizing, we're going to have a nice fan of muscle coming out from our greater trochanter. So as we're going to try and like push through and fully extend through the hip, we want to see, is this front portion going to kind of like some of our TFL, which feeds into our T-band, some of our anterior glute, all that other kind of fun stuff, little mid, little med, all those other little guys in there. So is this doing most of the work to hold us up? Or are these guys actually going to be able to kind of like functionally lengthen and allow the hip to fully get its full range of motion as it goes through and have the backside of the hip take a little bit more of the load? So basically, as we line up into it, we can do our reach across and raise on up. And as we go through, I want to see, can I get a full hip extension as I come across and then sit back down into it? Check from the other side. So I'm going to get my full reach across the hip, load the downside glute, really get that crease in the hip. So I'm going to get my rise up. When I go through, I want to see, does my hip kind of want to get shy and stay in and kind of wants to stall out? Or can I fully extend through, get that end range motion, and come back down into it? So to get into this, sometimes we have to widen the elbow out a little bit more so we can clear it, put it a little bit more forwards than we would otherwise. Get across to here, rise on up, get that full hip extension, and as always, crease back down into and get the full eccentric. As we come across, drive back and forth through. We're just going to really get that little bit of finish and make sure we don't get that little guard. So from the front spot, as I come across, and I rise on up. If I get to here and it feels like this doesn't want to let go, like I can't get that smooth transition, we'll do a couple of the breakouts. We can either do a couple prompts as far as a little more tricep extension, a little more stable base, almost build an arch to the foot in the air a little bit to see can I get a little bit more posterior chain glute activation as I get through. So as I get to here, I want to feel that front spot just open up nice and smooth so I can get that full terminal hip extension towards the end of the motion. So that's a way to tweak our low oblique sit, side bridge, diagonal sit, whatever you want to call it. So a little different way to get into some terminal hip extension. We're obliged to use a lot of our downside oblique for support. So if we need a little extra abdominal control to get through that, to take a little tension off the hip flexor, it's going to be partly diagnostic for that, and lead us down through a little bit more of the core stability training, developmental postures to make sure we tune that up and make it automatic.